Nandayo or Danny. Now, Mark is playing with Danny again, so they have that core, they have that synergy. This is not a new synergy, so they've obviously played for a long time. They got to prove themselves again, because now they just put together a new Birthright. How is he gonna face up? This is their first test. If they are as good as people say they are, they need to win this game, and that's what I think.
I mean, looking at the draft, there goes that Hellcurt you mentioned, just taking it out of. I mean, AKKE's hands. I mean, as you said, you have to respect him. And I think AKKE is going to do the same by banning out. I believe the Guinevere is a pretty good choice here, because I believe they can still go. I mean, Mako, I believe can still go Fanny here. I mean, he's a pretty decent Fanny, if I'm not mistaken.
But yeah. So first of all, like you said, the Hellcurt being banned, I was calling for the Hellcurt. His Hellcurt is dangerous. It needs to be banned. Sure. So now they need to. I would say on the other side of AKKE, they should ban out XP lanes. Nazardo usually plays Uranus, Lapu Lapu. He likes these kind of tanky XP lanes. If you take him out, you make that team a little bit weaker, because you can't really predict what the mage, what the gold lane is gonna, or even the jungle. The XP lane is very easy to predict. He's gonna pick that Uranus. He's gonna try to get that Lapu Lapu. He's gonna try to get the Ruby. So these kind of heroes are good to be banned. Arlott as well. Now we see Zuxin. These bans are going out fast. Zuxin is a really good ban. Nandayo obviously a strong Zuxin, very strong Farsa. So good bans so far. What do you have to say about this?
I mean, there's a hero there that's left under the radar a lot. With Zetian, the new mage. I feel like she's so underrated in the right composition, especially with an Iritel team comp. I think that hero is going to excel a lot, as you get that movement speed from that ultimate, from that Phoenix ultimate. You're gonna reveal everyone, you're gonna give them a little stun, especially it's good on Lord or Turtle fights. As soon as you hit that level 4 power spike, Iritel just comes around with the heavy crossbow, just gonna dish out a ton of damage with that movement speed from the passive.
Yeah, absolutely. Zetian is extremely strong, like you said. The problem with Zetian is it's not necessarily a damage mage. It's more like a utility. It has a little bit of poke damage, but it's mostly for that ultimate that sets up. If you have a Tigreal, if you have a Minotaur, it kind of makes their life easier. But now I'm really interested. What's the last ban? We see the Badang ban, extremely good ban, just to keep on the trend of banning XP lanes. I think Birthright is eventually gonna first pick an XP, and that is why they're following the trend of AKKE banning out the XPs. They say, okay, we ban out the Badang. You're gonna try to ban maybe I don't know, an XP lane, maybe Ruby. What else is there to ban? I'm not really sure.
Yu Zhong and Lapu Lapu are the ones I'm thinking of right now that need to be banned. But the YSS is going to go out. I mean, that's a pretty respectable ban. Him being, I believe, the strongest jungler right now in the game. An assassin with a stun and the damage of a marksman. I mean, you have to respect that hero.
Yeah, for sure. And this is a very veteran, experienced pick from Birthright. They picked Baxia, not necessarily because they want to first pick the roam. The Baxia here is working like a flex pick. We can pick it on the jungle, but we can still take it on the roam. So also, combined with that, it's extremely strong, right? You have to, with the mobility, you have to expect how quick it can rotate. So it's still very dangerous. Good pick from Birthright, showing that flex pick. Now, the YSS being banned is extremely good. Like you said, it's one of the strongest jungles in the game. So I'm happy to see that off now. Now, AKKE needs to make an important decision. They have to show where they want to take this draft. Because now these two picks are gonna show a lot where they want to go. Do they want to pick that 1-1? Do they want to pick the Kimi? Yeah, the Kimi is picked right here. Lapu being picked. I like these. These are two heroes that are, often picked and often great, especially Lapu Lapu.
I mean, I agree with your 1-1 take. I was expecting him to second pick the 1-1 just to counter that Baxia, to have a little bit more damage to Demon Hunter Sword with that Malefic Roar. Doing a ton of damage to tank heroes and being untargetable for like 3-4 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. But even so, him is a good second pick. But Lapu Lapu, I don't know, I wouldn't pick him over the Yu Zhong. Yu Zhong just has a bit more impact on the game.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, Yu Zhong has a little bit, is very good in team fight, can kind of reach the backline, like you said. It's like a pick and choose. Maybe Lapu Lapu didn't, it wasn't necessarily that it needed to be picked, but it's extremely strong also with that 1v1. No matter who you face against, and also if it gets ganks, because it has a lot of mobility to kind of flicker back, combined with the ultimate to go back. But this is the Farsa that I was talking about. Really good Farsa pick here. So Farsa obviously counters Kimi with that range, extremely strong range and extremely strong, just high damage in general. Really good to see Farsa. Fredrin being picked here is very interesting. Ooh, that 1-1 thing. This is what we were talking about, Zakota, with the crossbow tang. And like the damage here can be really scalable for 1-1. You know, once you reach a few items, especially once you reach after that Demon Hunter, you start dishing out a lot of damage, no matter who's in the front. And Baksha and Fredrin are two heroes that are obviously tank heroes, so they'll probably give him that ultimate. But I'm still interested. Pankrat has a big decision. What marksman does he want to take? Does he want to take that Bruno? I'm expecting him to pick Bruno just because he can kind of bully the 1-1 in the early game, and that can make the difference. But we're left to see. Now the two bans still left on the map. Irritel, of course, counters 1-1, and that is banned. So really good ban. I want to see the marksmen being banned from the side of AKKE, just because you need to make sure that the 1-1 has a good early game.
Joy is a bit of an unexpected ban, but you know, I like the Yuzhong over the Lapu Lapu. If you go up against the Farsa, you know, she's in that feather airstrike. She is really stuck in one place, right? You need to stun her to cancel her ultimate. And with the Yuzhong, you can go, you know, with the Black Dragon form, you pop that ultimate, you go and nudge her a bit, it's a stun. And that's gonna deal, I mean, you're just gonna defuse the bomb, that feather airstrike, but we're gonna see the Phovis and Minotaur getting banned out. Minotaur, I don't like because it's a pretty nice counter to 1-1. I mean, they could flex that backshine to XP and keep that Mino on their roam, but still, I don't think they want to give a bit more healing that Kimi and that, you know, Lapu Lapu again.
Yeah. The Phovius makes sense because of the dashes, but personally, I wouldn't have banned Phovius. I would have banned something like Bruno, just because they kind of need to focus on the damage. The most important pick here for the side of Birthright is actually going to be the damage. It's not going to be the XP lane, even though Phovius counters a lot. That Bruno, I'm pretty sure that Bruno is going to be picked. And I don't know what they're going to... Ooh, that Moskov actually. Wow, okay. So they go for a kind of split push combination with the Chi-Chi.
I don't like the CC. I really don't like the CC in this team comp. I feel like they like a proper stunt. They have nothing to lock down that Lapu Lapu or that Kimi.
Yeah.
Even if they,
the Chi-Chi being... Yeah.
Even if they put a Kalea maybe on their roam and keep the Baksha on the XP to counter that Lapu Lapu, you know? Still, it's pick and pockets. But again...
I think... Yeah, if we just go off what we see, we see a very heavy, sustained composition from the side of Birthright. Obviously, the two fronts, they have the Baksha, they have the Fredrin. Now, they pick Chi-Chi because they can't really keep going with this sustain because they're going to eventually lack damage. Ooh, I just have to say, I don't like this Hayabusa. There is almost no pickoff from him. The Moskov is potential, but again, he's gonna kind of be evasive. He's gonna be a little bit everywhere. Now, the Farsa I can understand, but you're playing against stuff like Baksha, stuff like Fredrin, Chi-Chi. I just have to say I don't like the Hayabusa coming up. Now I know he plays Hayabusa a lot, just from a personal experience. He likes this kind of pick, but maybe there was another pick that should have been better. What do you think, Zakota?
Lancelot here would have been extremely good to go to the backline for the Farsa. Lancelot would have been extremely strong. You can immune the Frederin's Appraiser Arrive, you can immune that Feather Airstrike, you can immune the Spear of Destruction, even CC's Curtain Call. I mean, there's so many possibilities for Lance here.
You know what I was thinking, Zakota? I just got this genius idea. I said, why not Xborg? Even though you may put yourself in a counter against Farsa, you still, you know, if you're up against Fredrin, if you're up against Baksha, you still have that damage with Kimi and 1-1. That could be potential, but now it's not about what they could have done. Now they have already picked. Let's see. This is going to be a really interesting match. Day 2, first game, Zakota. How are you feeling?
Excited, I can't lie. I'm really excited. But who do you think won the draft?
This is a very good question. I just have to say, honestly, I have to say AKKE. I like the 1-1 pick here. It's going to be extremely strong. I also like the Kimi pick. And the Lapu is okay, but the main thing that makes me like AKKE's draft here is actually the 1-1. The 1-1 has a really good game here. Only the Farsa can little bit disturb. But if Hayabusa does his job, the Farsa shouldn't even be able to ultimate, because he always needs to be careful about the Hayabusa coming up from the bushes. But what do you think? Who do you think won the draft here?
I think BIRTHRIGHT won it because I don't like the Hayabusa because again you have the CC with that curtain call and it's gonna disable your ultimate. That Uke Shadow Kill won't go off if you're in a team fight, you're in a pickle, you know, the CC is just gonna cast your ultimate and you can't do anything, right? You can teleport back only. But even so, we're into game number 1 as of day number 2.
Absolutely, and this is interesting. Now we see a very aggressive kind of early game from both teams, right? Not holding anything back. Both teams want to make sure to win the early game, and they have a lot of arguments to do so. Obviously, they have the Fredrin, Baxia, but on the other side, you also have the Kimi, right? The Kimi kind of freezes the Farsa early game. But yeah, this is very interesting. I always believe that in these kind of heavy early game compositions, the turtle matters the most. Now look at this, they're gonna engage very early.
AKKE is gonna fall down, Mark, and AKKE won't use Revitalize, but even so, he is getting slowed down by Nyando. Bandani is gonna go through, he misses his second skill on Farsa, but still Mark might just lay down Toby. First blood goes to Team Birthright. Just giving them that extra lead you are talking about. I think that's the biggest mistake to fight a Baxia in the roam with that expendable skill 1 that does, like, I believe 450 damage per strike.
Yeah, it does a lot of damage, and you can easily underestimate the damage. But I just want to say, look at this Hayabusa going bot lane. Is he going to try to do something, or is he going to try to maybe just get the farm? Because they're starting turtle early, and none of them can even do it. Let's see, though. This is going to be really interesting. This fight is going to be extremely interesting for who's going to take the next 4 or 5 minutes and have the lead, right?
Lapula with the bravest fighter, but even so, Levi has slain down Hayabusa. Maki goes down. Curse lays down Nyando. Azardo, I mean, but even so, look at that pull coming in from the Kimi, doing a ton of damage to Levi. Periodic Destruction connects, hits 2. A ton of damage yet again. Kuro falls down. A lot of kills going towards Birthright. That's that early advantage the Bakshia's anti-heal. They can't do anything, especially with that Lapu Lapu. And Toby using his Revitalize early just sealed the deal for him.
Well, yeah, like you said, it's a very heavy front. They obviously have that
Feather Extra coming through a lot of damage. Hayabusa manages to escape, but even so, look at the taunt coming from Levi. Cristiano Nazardo does a ton of damage. Jesus, you see that damage coming from the CC? Holy!
Yeah, it's actually insane. But look at this, it doesn't stop. Look, Mark is very smart. He knows that Hayabusa obviously is slow from
AOG.
You know. Wow, this is very interesting. Very interesting how aggressive Birthright is.
I mean, right now, AKKE wasted 2 utility ultimates just to try to catch Mark down. But even so, look at Invade, keep going on. Hayabusa can't do anything. He has that Oogie Shadow Kill in a few seconds. He does manage to pop it, but even so, Mark is too tanky for him. Not much you can do. AOG isn't ready. They can't even cancel that Farsa's Feather Airstrike. I mean, that was a big waste of utilities. I agree with you completely, Sin, but even so, 40 seconds to 40 seconds to that turtle, but even so in the mid lane there's a fight. Danny used the Feather Airstrike, gets Nyando down, a ton of damage coming in on Toby. He's about to die as well. He connects with that basic rap, but not enough to heal him. Pancraft is gonna stand down Maku on the blue buff, managing to slay him down. Oh my god, this is a complete slaughter.
That's actually insane by Pancrat. Did you just see him go from top lane to that blue buff in a matter of 1 second? Just because how, you know, the Moscow ultimate. But also, I wanna think that, you know, maybe this 1-1 can do something because he's just been farming, right? He hasn't
Feather
been
Airstrike connects. Nyando manages to survive. So lucky, but even so, Curtain Call is available, but he won't use it. I don't know if you noticed that, but Fredrin built 3 belts.
Really? That's actually surprising.
He's gonna go for the Guardian helmet early game. He's just gonna try to continue fighting. I mean, that's a pretty odd build, but even so, look at the damage on Pancraft.
Yeah, and now obviously Birthright has that early game, right? So now they're just gonna try to snowball, and this is what you couldn't have let happen if you were AKKE.
Mark is looking for an AOG, goes down, catches Danny. Lapu goes the bravest fighter. Use the flicker, but he does not connect with the stun. But even so, look at Mako. He manages to get a kill, but he goes down as well. a ton of damage on
1-1.
Kuro, but he survives. One has the mark, but she won't connect with it. She knows that CC can tank it, I believe. Just the Dreadnought armor as a first, but Mako finally gets his first hunter item, being the Hunter Strike. I mean, they're going to swap the lanes right now. Pancrat is probably going to try to maybe solo kill him, but still, look at Mark.
Yeah, this is dangerous. Now, for 1-1, you can't allow yourself to be solo kill. But look at Mark. He's taking a little bit of damage. I want to know, what does Nandayo build first item? It needs to be that glowing wand. And look, Fredrin goes in. He has no fear, Zakota. No fear.
No fear whatsoever. Feather Escher comes through. Spear Cycle next. Gets 2 down locked. But even so, they're going to try to keep going. Dan is going to chase in the jungle. Toby is below, basically out of his HP. He's 1 hit away from death. Look at Nazardo. He goes in there. Tier 2 turret to try to slay down Maku. Gurtenkan is still available. He can lock them down. Astra got his first item, the Wind Talker. I mean, second item actually. But even so, Retribution has been used. Maku, I mean, that's why I don't like the Hayabusa here. You're too vulnerable compared to the Lancelot.
Absolutely. I think
AOG.
I think the Hayabusa. Oh, Toby is going in. Interesting. I don't like that too much. But like you said, Hayabusa being picked there is very, very
bad. A ton of damage coming through the Lapu Lapu with the Bravest Fighter. Does a ton of damage. Look at that Oogie Shadow kill. It's connecting, but still not doing anything. Nazardo falls down, uses Vengeance as well, but still not enough to sustain everything that's happening to Mark. Is getting in a ton of damage. The Sky Piercer coming in from Nyando is pulling through finally. But still, the mid turret is about to fall down. Levi is there. Danny is there. He's gonna ult that Kimi. Oh my god. Will he survive? The prediction isn't there. Maku, with the shadows, doesn't connect to the Farsa.
However, he does force his Purify, so maybe they can try to do something with Agatu Kacha if he lands perfectly on the Farsa. Now they're gonna get the turtle. I mean, Birthright is playing this game actually very smart, right? Getting the towers, not stressing too much, making sure they have all the farm, and just slowly and surely just snowballing this game. But I do think, we can't count out the 1-1. If he connects, maybe he can do some damage, right? Does have that Inspire still. So we're going to have to wait and see. I did think it was going to be easier than, how it actually turned out to be for this 1-1 to toggle that ultimate. And but I don't know. He's really
Bravest
struggling
Fighter
with
goes
this game.
through under a tier 2 turret trying to defend it, but even so, he manages to survive by a slither of HP. So does Asha, but Mark goes through, rolling away. Feather Escher comes through, marks 2 people down, doesn't slay, but the passive from Farsa and the Spear of Destruction managed to slay down Astra. That was an incredible play coming in from Birthright, forcing out the tier 2 ultimates as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is really a showcase why Farsa is so strong in this meta. I believe it's the best mage currently that you can play like right now. It's even stronger than Kimi because it has that range. It has an insane damage output. It's extremely elusive as well with that bird. So he's really showcasing how great Farsa is.
Now Mark is looking, he manages to fight a fight, but the Feather Escher comes through, just poking out Kuro. He goes with the Bravest Fighter for some reason. He manages to... But he could have flickered back, sustain a bit, because I think they're going to lose the top turret right now. Curtain Carlos goes through. Traction pull comes as well, but still doesn't catch anyone. That's dash coming from CC is so annoying. It's so hard to, catch.
Yeah, and at this point, Zakota, they're up a lot in gold, right? So it's not only extremely hard to catch, it's extremely hard to kill as well.
They're looking for a fight. Look at Mark is rolling away. Will they wait for the Lord or will they try to initiate a fight? They're they're a lot of gold up, 9,000 gold.
What they can do is kind of bait out AKKE, see if they want to fight, because they still have that Farsa, right? They still have the Feather Airstrike, but looks like they're gonna try just to waste the passive on the bot side.
AOG as well.
Then go on the Lord.
Fraction pulse comes from Mark, is getting taunted into the damage of Kimi in that beam. Hayabusa is in the top lane split pushing, but even so, all tier 3 turrets have used their abilities. That's a really good thing for the Lord that's upcoming. I see Birthright is doing it. I think Nazaro is trying to answer for what Maku's doing. Pancrat finally gets that Lord down. It's a domination from Birthright. Look at Lapu Lapu. Lapu Lapu in the fight. Also, Namaku will escape, but still, Astra has the mark.
He can't kill him, right? He's going for the kill.
Oh.
But the Vengeance is still up, though. Zakota, this Vengeance is still up. Wow, that's a big kill right there.
Wookiee Shadow kill as well. God damn, that healing from that Revitalize helps a lot. And Maku is stuck.
Man, he has no one.
Oh my god.
How are they gonna defend this? Do you think they can defend this, Sakota?
With Kimi, I believe they can defend it, but the Lord is marching down as well before Astra goes up. Flicker coming in from Kimi as well, just wasting a lot of utilities yet again. Kuro's trying to defend that bot lane turret. But if also the Feather Airstrike comes through, they know she doesn't have that Flicker, so they're trying to catch her out, and Azar finally gets that yo-yo in her face. But look at
I don't think they can defend this, Sakota. I don't think so.
Builds.
They're gonna finish the base here.
Comes through, the Lord is hurting Kuro a lot, but look at that. Ugi Shadow Kill marks down Moscow, but still not enough. One on goes.
Wow, one shot.
Ultimate, but still too much damage coming in from Birthright. Too much sustainability as well. Feather Airstrike just locking him in base. That's wrap.
Game. What can we expect here from the draft? I do expect that Halkord ban, but now AKKE is first pick. What are they gonna pick here?
I believe they should go for maybe an XP laner. As you said, Arlot, Uranus, Yuzhong, Lapu Lapu are great picks, but you have to build around it. You don't have to build for them. It's now back to pre-tank meta jungle. If you remember, you know that Feathering combination. I think they should go for something to keep the fight going, to deal a ton of damage while fighting, because the fighters, they're sustaining. But you need to do something while they're sustaining. Because we had a bruiser meta, Hilda bruiser meta, right?
Yeah.
She went in, bruise for you, opened the map, and you, the damage dealer, went and followed through. You went for the execute, but they're gonna ban the YSS so early as the first pick as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. YSS tells me that they're not confident with that first pick YSS, because obviously it would be first pick for Maku if it could be open. I'm a little bit unsure why they would ban that. Maybe not confident, but Halkord being banned, that's what we predicted. Now, can we expect something like a Kimi ban? Or should you go with something like XP, right? So you want to take an XP lane, maybe Arlot, maybe Badang. You can kind of ban Badang here. You're not going to pick it first, at least. Another XP lane you can ban is kind of Uranus if you're not confident. Or if you want to build a draft around Uranus. Depends, up to them. The meta nowadays is very open to a lot of options, right? There's mid lane potential for first pick, XP potential. Farsa being banned here is really good, because this tells them that maybe they want to pick that Kimi. Farsa counters Kimi, okay, we can ban it.
Even so, I really don't like the Kimi on the mid lane, because it really tones down your drafting potential. Yes, she's really annoying to deal with. She has a ton of damage in the early game. I believe 100 per bullet or 67 per bullet in the early. As soon as she gets that concentrated, you stack up to 100 or so damage, and that's really hard to deal with. But still, I wouldn't pick her on the mid. Even on the goal, I wouldn't pick Kimi at all.
Yeah, well, I think Kimi most of the times is just picked on mid lane, and it's usually strong because it can kind of freeze them early game. No matter almost what hero is being played against it, you can kind of freeze. But like you said, maybe in the tournament format, Kimi is a little bit overestimated, actually, because there are counters, there are ways you can get around it. We were talking about Yuzhong, Farsa, another one. There are ways to play around Kimi, while some heroes, there are just no ways. I believe that, Uranus is one of those heroes. There's no way to play around it. You just have to do so much damage that, you hope you can die.
And with Uranus, I think that's the same story with every single hero if you're not bursting. But even so, I know you have played against some proper team, and I saw a lot of Mashas going into the Uranus matchup. I don't know if you saw it recently, but I think that's a really nice and interesting pick. You can actually focus down on the mid and goal as well with Masha, so it's a pushing monster, does a ton of damage, and can be really annoying with that passive.
Yeah, it is, like you say, Masha being picked against Uranus is obviously a match. It's a matchup win, and it's also used because it can cut the lane. So it even if Uranus is gonna stay under that turret, it says, okay, I'll just cut your lane and I'll rotate into mid. But now, speaking of Uranus, it's banned. Very, very good ban here. I don't want to see that Uranus, especially because just how strong it is. Now the Lapu is still open. Kimi is still open. Kimi is actually picked here, so they did ban that Farsa just for that Kimi. Interesting. What do you think about this? You don't seem to like it, Zakota.
I don't like the Kimi on the mid. I really hate it. It's such a waste of a hero. Yes, it has annoying crowd control effect, but I like this. Eve is better than Kimi, in my opinion. Eve is such a strong mage. She has so much abilities that can help you in an actual team fight. That real world manipulation, just locking down the enemy teams. You're CC immune. you get the shield, but even so, they're gonna go again for the same draft basically. The Fredrin and the Badang is a new addition, of course, but still counters basically the Kimi because you lock her down, you make her waves that flicker, make her waves that purify, and that's GG for her.
Yeah. And these two heroes obviously are Fredrin and Badang, very sustainable, very annoying for Kimi as well. Unless you can kind of get your items together and you start doing damage. Maybe Feather of Heaven. I've seen Kimi's build in Asia. Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter actually works very good, but it's very risky. You need to know what you're doing. Speaking of the draft, just in general, with a Phovius being picked, Moskov, interesting. It seems like they just want to steal that Moskov off Pankrat. It doesn't seem to have any purpose yet here.
I don't like this. Is too early for the marksman. The fighter can be picked a bit early. The Phovius is okay versus the Badang matchup. Even so, you're not 100% sure of what Team Birthright is going to do. You don't know what they're thinking. You haven't seen their draft fully yet. At least you saw only 2 heroes. What can you tell from that? Both of these heroes can be flexed into like 2 roles at least.
Yeah. Let's just put Fredrin on the marksman. I'm kidding.
I mean, Fredrin Explain can work pretty well if you have a decent matchup. Even versus obvious, it's okay.
Yeah, it is like you said. You can't really decide after 2 heroes to pick to lock in that marksman, or even I think even the mage. Now we see Lapu Lapu being picked there. Lapu Lapu just maybe to reach that Kimi is really good. But like again, I like Yuzong. I'm like you. I actually like Yuzong in this meta a lot. Lapu Lapu is definitely one of the strongest XP lanes, but I think people are still how strong Yuzong is, still underestimating it a little bit, just because how fast it can reach the backline. But again, Lapu Lapu and Yuzong, they have the kind of same purpose. Now, I'm interested to see what they're going to ban. So obviously now, AKKE is missing a roam and a jungle. Marco likes to play assassins. Fredrin being picked here, okay, you don't maybe need to ban out the assassins because you want him to pick an assassin, an Hayabusa. He wouldn't be, he wouldn't be that crazy to go into a Fredrin matchup with a Hayabusa, right? So you kind of don't care that much about that. So you want to ban out the roams here. Gato being banned. Interesting.
I'm thinking about the Joy here. The Joy could work pretty decently into a Fredrin, and she's not that banned and picked anymore. I don't know if you noticed. She's under the radar. She's still pretty strong. But as you said, you can't really go Assassin. I was thinking maybe go Suyu here, but you're going to ban the Wu Zetian. Hold on.
Yeah, Zichan being banned here obviously serves utility pick. It's just very strong in general. It's gone under the radar for a long time, but now it's eventually banned here from AKKE. Minotaur being banned, like you see, they're not focusing on that jungle. They say, okay, go whatever jungle you want. I think he's going to pick an assassin because I've never seen him pick a fighter, actually. And matter of fact, I'm going to go an extra step. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. What fighter can you even pick here?
Suyu.
What can you even go for here?
I think only Suyu can work here.
Only Suyu can work just because of the dashes.
Or Roger.
I was thinking...
Still, Roger in the...
Roger is...
3 marksmen. That's the problem with Kimi, 3 marksmen.
Yeah, that's true. But Roger is still kind of evasive. He still has, chance to kind of escape as well. Irrital being picked here. I was kind of expecting an Irrital. I don't know why they banned Granger. Maybe because Granger is kind of extremely fast farming. So they want to make sure that nothing can get too ahead here. Now, I'm really interested to see AKKE's draft here. How can they finish this draft? Obviously, the Gato is banned. The Minotaur is banned. There is still kind of heroes like Tigreal, but maybe Tigreal isn't good here. It's just decent. I don't know.
Maybe an Arlot on the roaming position with an AKKE in the jungle.
It's really hard to play the Arlot roam because, first of all, you need to use your skills properly. You can't even waste one skill on anyone without it being the right hero. Like we said, Suyu, right? We were discussing the heroes and saying it needed a fighter. Can't go assassin here. You would be crazy to go assassin. Needs fighter. Pick Suyu. Okay. Unlike Suyu, kind of fast farming. Maybe you can try to farm and you just play for the objectives and don't engage directly with the Fredrin. The Kufra being picked here, I don't know. What do you have to say about
I don't like the Kufra. I believe they need a better frontline. They have a bruiser, obvious. He's a bruiser. He's not the guy who does the sets. With Kufra, yes, you can set, but you have 2 CC immunities at least. The Purify, Irrital is going to be 100% the thing. You're not going to go sprint. You're not going to go anything else. And into a Fredrin, you want to go a Kufra? I mean, it's pretty weird, honestly.
Yeah, it is pretty weird.
Nana mid
because
lane.
it's, that's actually very interesting.
It
Actually,
works. It
Nana.
works versus the Kimi. I've seen it in a few foreign tournaments, if I'm not mistaken. It's a pretty strong counter.
Yeah, it could work. I've never seen it, so I don't wanna. I don't dare to give any prediction after that last game prediction that obviously didn't work out too well. But regarding the drafts in general here are very interesting. I feel like AKKE is just picking up heroes as they go, while Birthright kind of has a consistency. Like we said last game, we were saying they have that strong sustained front with a high damage output in the backline. Here, obviously, Nana has a lot of damage. Irritel also. You can't underestimate Irritel damage. And it's also going to be an interesting matchup. Irritel against Moscow. It's very interesting here. Just in general, how is that? I'm curious to see also about the Kimi. How is that Kimi going to activate? You have the Fredrin, you play against the Badang, playing the Lapu, you're playing the Irritel even. I mean, I don't know how you can play the Kimi here. But again, first picked it, he has something to prove now.
Goes on Toby, but still Pancart falls down. Nyan manages to use that Sky Piercer. That's seen really much hate, but even so, the taunt coming from Levi, Bravest Fighter comes through, misses the stun, but even so, a Praiser's Wrath misses on Toby. He flickers out of the way.
He's still alive!
Of damage on that guy and on Toby, we judged the Kufra too harshly, I believe.
Absolutely, but look at the Lapu. Look how fast he was on the rotation compared to the Phobius. Phobius is just now going to the mid lane, but Badang still, he wanna save the tower, right? And the turtle, is the turtle gonna be taken? It seems like Levi don't even want to have anything to do with this turtle. I think it's a little bit of a mistake. But now Maku is gonna get the free turtle, and they're just gonna eventually get back to farming. And yeah, this AKKE game is different. Moscow is gonna pick up that turret 6 minutes in. That's very early, actually.
1 HP Frisker comes from Badang. He does not manage to kill him though. Even so, 2-level difference between the junglers. Only 6 minutes in, 7 minutes in now, but still that's a lot. And Maku is gonna take the top turret down. Warded by Phobius, of course, but even so, it's still too early to tell what's going to happen. 3,500 gold difference, but look at that. Big Sam coming through, Fist comes as well. Danny with that Molina Blitz douching out of town, but Levi is gonna steal down Furu, but so look at that Forge. SOD connects through them. Look at Asha manages to slay down Levi Kuru as well. Toby stands down Mark. Look at bouncing ball on top of him.
Toby or Kobe?
Toby.
Kobe. No, but this is a completely different AKKE. I see a lot of people saying, they were missing the early game, and we apologize for that, guys. But now you can see the greatness of what AKKE is doing. There's just snowballing right now, and look at the Kimi.
Molina Blitz comes through and shuts him down. He managed to get 2 Sky Piercer sack, but he lost them basically halfway, I believe. He's on 16, if I'm not mistaken, Sint.
Yeah, it should be around 16 after that death. And again, we see a kind of a different game from the side of AKKE. They want to pick up that Moscow now. Needs to be careful. Again,
look at Astra.
You can't...
Forces the flicker out. Fiskra comes through. Levi is going to slow him down as well with the retribution. And Pancrat is going to get the kill. Curry's on the bot lane. He's going to defend that. But look at the Lapu. He's so far ahead, and they're trying to look for a fight in the mid lane. Toby doesn't have his Tyrant range. He can't go in. Look at Molina Blitz again.
What is going on right now? AKKE, I was giving them so
Tyrant's
much praise.
revenge, not there.
I was giving them so much praise. I don't know what's happening. We were just talking about how good AKKE is playing, and now they're making this kind of mistakes.
But look at Kuru. He goes in a 1v5 scenario and dies out. Molina Blitz is such a strong damage super. I mean, hey, the Lord is in favor of Birthright right now. There are 2 people down. The jungler is ahead in 4 level, but still, I don't think he's going to contest that. He cannot. They just don't have the damage, and the front Toby is going to allow them with a vision. The Tyrant's revenge is there, but still, the glowing just pushes now. SOD connects. Levi gets the retribution down, and I believe the Moscow shouldn't have even went for the Spirit of Dragon. He just went for the split push, Sint.
Yeah, he should have gone for the split push, but he's split pushing right now. And
Ufra,
on the other side,
Zardo is gonna get poked out as well, forcing that dash away. But Kufra is almost gonna die. Look at damage from the Molina.
Yeah, it does so much damage. But again, I do think this should be quite a relatively easy defend. You have that Kimi, you have that Moskov. You should not stress this too much. You know, you cannot give the inhibitor, but
Look
you
at
don't need to
Bankrupt.
either.
SOD goes through as well, but look at the Fist Crack coming from Molina Blitz and the Molina stun as well. The transformation curve also falls down. The Lord is still at the health in 9,000 HP. Toby's charging in the back. Will he get a stun on someone? He doesn't commit with it fully. We're going to see Soyu helping defend that mid lane turret, but still the top 10 has yet to be pushed.
Yeah, and another thing I just want to keep people engaged in is look at the gold. Actually, AKKE is up in the gold here, but how can they lose from all of these mistakes? Well, it's positional mistakes. Now we see them getting picked off one after the other. Again, the Kimi shouldn't have been that up front, but he got flickered and then he died. They need to kind of be more careful. But look at this Moskov though; he wants this kill. Great kill from Moskov here.
Really bad position going from Lazaro, but they're gonna get a big trade and take 2 turrets in the top lane. I mean, since you know how important map control is, they lost the mid, they lost the top as well, and they're more prone to invade that blue buff that Suyu needs for that CDR.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've lost the map control really from AKKE's AKKE position. They had the map control early game, but then they made a lot of mistakes, and now actually it's in the side of Birthright, and you can see they want to get this bot tower. As a matter of fact, I think AKKE is just gonna give it to them, right? Moskov can't defend this alone. If he tries, he's gonna die. So there's no Kufra there as well. They're waiting for Kufra
Danny
to
with the
step
Molina
up.
Blitz, a lot of damage coming from Parkart. The Fist Wall is there, the Fist Crack as well, the Flicker forced out. Lev is going to tank that. Look at him, the walking refrigerator. But even so, Kuro goes for a big push on Nazardo. That's a big trade for Team Birthright. A Flicker, a Roamer, a Ultimate. And, I mean, they won't use the Retribution for it.
Yeah, I mean the issue here for the side of AKKE is that they're not trading properly. They just go one by one. They gave the bot tower. Kufra died as well. I mean, nothing can be even worse here. Now they want to fight, right? So they know that the Moskov. They've seen the Moskov on the bot lane, so they kind of want to try and engage without the Moskov. Moskov is split pushing, but he needs to kind of move into the Lord side now because obviously there's nothing else to get on that bot lane. So I want to see him be a little bit more engaging in the team fight. But look at this flickers. That's a very good flicker coming out from Mark. Other than that, he would have been dead.
But since a 2-level difference between these junglers, Leva is still behind a lot. Yes, they're winning the team fights more, but it's only on Pankrat. The Pankrat is doing the damage, and Danny as well. Yes, he's helping with damage, but the main source is Pankrat, and they're gonna have a free Lord fight. Toby has vision on Mark. He misses the stun.
This is exactly what you said. You said it was a 2-level difference, and this is why they're starting.
Pull up with the bravest fighter, doesn't get a stand down. SOD connects towards the team. Fistcrack as well stands down both of the members of AKKE, but still the Lord is in the hands of Birthright right now. Oh my god, that Appraiser's Rat on Maku. Well. That's, I think, a crushing defeat. They lost the Lord, they lost 4 members, and they are going to lose, I believe, an inhibitor here. No.
Yeah, maybe. Protection. I think at least they're gonna lose the inhibitor just because that Lord now after 12 minutes is gonna be quite strong. Also have Iritel kind of fed now. They will definitely lose an inhibitor here.
Ooh, look at Maku. He got baited.
Lose the game though.
I mean, that's such a waste. He shouldn't have won. He almost risked his life. He risked defending.
Yeah, you need to be careful. I'm not sure what's going on for AKKE. They just need to get a grip, man. They just need to get a grip because this is not currently working out. They had a good early game, but now it's kind of mid-game coming up late game, and they're just getting crushed. The positioning is just... Birthright is just showing their experience with their positioning, and that's AKKE, you know, missed positions from time and time again.
I mean, since I agree with you completely on that, but they're just picking out Toby. Toby is making the engages when he shouldn't. He should be holding the position, not revealing himself so early or on Kufra. You need to have that surprise element, right?
Yeah. Another thing that I think people are not quite seeing is how well Pankrat is actually playing this game. He's just farming and he's just making sure
Look at that, the bravest fighter goes through a big stand on both members of Team AKKE, the both front line, but Lucas Soyu, he's pushing them back. And they're gonna manage to get that Lord, but they're gonna take the mid as well. Look at Flicker, Fist Crack combination coming from Mark, a ton of damage. Astra slays him down. But they're gonna trade for a mid turret, Soyu almost takes down, but SOD connects, Danny is there.
He needs to go, I think.
I don't think
he doesn't. He doesn't choose. I would have liked to see them engage there, especially because he had Flicker, so even if he kind of would get a little bit caught in the initial stage, but maybe could have done something. However, look at this. Now AKKE want to push up, right? They know that Mark is dead. They want to kind of do something. Look, Pankrat. Pankrat is going 1v1. He sees a lot of damage. He stops, attacking him. And here we see the items, right? So first thing you notice is there's no Wind of Nature on Moskov just yet. And you see the kind of full build from Iritel doing a lot of damage. The gold lead is just, one item, but in one item in late game is quite a lot. And other than that, I don't know. I still don't like the Sky Piercer from
Look at that
Timmy.
big fight coming in. Bravest Fighter comes through. Raging Slash doing a ton of damage and sustainability with a second skill of Lapu Lapu slaying down two members of Team AKKE. That engage from Lapu Lapu is what we wanted to see last game. He didn't do that at all. And now Toby and Asha, two really important team members, core members, I would say. The frontline engager and the defender. You have the Kimi, yes, but still, the Kimi can get picked out. The Molina is there. The Fredder has his ultimate. Mark still has his ultimate. They're just waiting for an opportunity. If his crack is there, he does it, and he manages to lay down Haru. But look at that mid lane is marching down with the minions. Bravest Fighters comes through, not connecting with the stand. But look at Maku, a ton of damage.
It's gonna be a finish. Yeah. This is an absolute finish. I mean,